Now joining us is Stanley Davis, Superintendent, Ingersoll Houses Training Center. Stanley, welcome to Reaching Out.
Thank you, Greg. It's a pleasure to be here, definitely.
So tell us, one, where is Ingersoll Training Center?
The Ingersoll Training Center is located in the Fort Greene area of Brooklyn, right over the Brooklyn Bridge, the Manhattan Bridge area.
Okay, that used to be Fort Greene houses?
Yes, combined it was Whitman and Ingersoll that were considered Fort Greene. They separated, and now I'm at the Ingersoll houses.
Okay. So tell us, what do you do there?
As a superintendent at the Janitorial and Grounds Training Center, I'm responsible for a large part of the training programs that we have there. The Janitorial and Grounds is very instrumental in developing the staff, preparing them for when they go out into the field.
Okay. So how many people do you prepare during the course of a day? Is there a set number?
Usually we have a group that comes in, let's say the newly hired people, and then we have additional classes for people who have been employed for a while. At any given time, we could have maybe 20 or 30 people at the training center at one time.
Okay, and what job titles do you train?
We train most of the administrative titles there, for example, working our way upward from caretakers, newly hired, to caretaker X's, supervisor caretakers, supervisor grounds, assistant supers, superintendents, and even managers.
Okay. So tell us some of the other places that you've worked at.
Well, my experience with the Housing Authority has been 23 years. I've had the opportunity to come in working at Jefferson Houses as a caretaker J, which is where it all began for me. And from that point on, we went over to King Towers, had some experiences there, and from there I went over to Grand Houses. Most of my time is spent up in Harlem, Spanish Harlem, on the east side of Harlem. And it's been a good ride. Just last week on the 16th, I made 23 years in housing, so I'm very happy about that.
Okay, so what was the, I would say, the most rewarding day of your 23-year career, if you could remember something that stood out and you say, man, I really had a good day?
Well, you know, I had several good days while I've been in the Housing Authority. One of the most recent ones first was my anniversary of 23 years. Again, I spent a lot of time at the Union Hall, Local 237. I was honored there. And that was truly a pleasure for me, the President's Award. And that made me happy. That was great. I had my family with me that day.
Congratulations. I remember giving it to you.
Yes. Thank you. That was a good time. That was a good experience. And that's just a couple. And then, of course, along the way, you know, I've had some other accomplishments, moving up the ranks from caretaker to superintendent. That was a very good thing for me. And it's a great future in the Housing Authority. There's a lot to offer. They have a lot to offer.
Thank you, Stanley. Stanley, when you hear about the attacks on public sector workers, mainly on pensions and benefits, what do you think? I mean, because I know you work so hard. How does that make you feel?
Well, when I hear that, I think about more charging. Well, they're going to tax us a little higher, and everything seems to be going up around us, and I don't think we can afford to pay a higher tax on our pensions right now. I mean, it's really hurting. Like I say, so many things are going up around us. Our salaries need to be increased. It's kind of hard to keep your head up above water here.
Yes. So when you hear that you have to pay more, I mean, can you imagine the possibility of bringing home less money than you're bringing home now?
Greg, that's something that I really don't want to think about, but unfortunately, keeping it real. And the reality is, if we have to pay more, that will hurt. That means I have to cut in other areas. And that's not something that I really strongly agree with. Not at all.
I understand that. Stanley, it's been nice talking to you, and unfortunately, we've run out of time. So that's all the time we have for this segment of Reaching Out. I'm Gregory Floyd. Our very special guest, Stanley Davis, New York City Housing Authority Superintendent. Stanley, thank you for being here.
Thank you very much, Greg, and if you ever need me to come back for any reason, I'll be here to comment.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
The invitation is going to be there.
Okay, thank you.